Hello, everybody. This is Joe David Cantu once again for Hispanic News Online. And today we are still celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and we're bringing you a Latina from Atlanta, Georgia, that is doing some incredible stuff for her community and working with some people, trying to make not only our community but everything around her better. Gigi, I want to welcome you to our podcast series. It's our very first 30 for 30 Hispanic Heritage Month podcast series, and I can't thank you enough for joining us and being part of this. Gigi, come on and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for the opportunity. Very happy to talk to you. And my name is Gilda Pedraza. I am originally from Peru, from Lima. And I came to the U.S. 12 years ago. I fell in love with a man that lived here and came visit and never left, basically. I am an entrepreneur at heart. My first business started when I was 10 years old, and I sold Hello Kitty stickers in my school. I don't come from a family that's, very wealthy, but I always thought I am a product of people that come together and communities that come together and support each other. So when I came to the U.S., I decided that's what I want to do. When I first came, I was unaware of, the plight and what Latinos go through when they are here. And I was very fortunate to work in development and marketing for a nonprofit organization here in Georgia that exposed me to the reality. So since I came, I've dedicated myself to either work with Latinos serving nonprofits and businesses to make sure their programs, their incentives, their initiatives are relevant to our community, but also to connect the community with the service providers, with the products, with the services. And that's what I do now. My business partner and I, we launched a social venture called Yo Soy Mujer. And what we do is we create platforms and communities, digital and through grassroots events and community events in Georgia. So that's what we do, and we address three segments of the population: recent immigrants, we address professionals and entrepreneurs, and also community leaders. We provide all of them with opportunities to connect, to talk to each other, to meet face-to-face, and to support each other.
Okay, so back up, because you kind of just went real fast on what you do, but I know that it's more. Tell me, you build platforms for the community. I mean, what does that entail?
So the Hispanic community in Georgia, especially women, they are very marginalized. Georgia is a state in which if you don't have all your papers, you cannot get a driver's license. You cannot drive. There is a lot of language barriers. The majority of our community are from Mexico and Central America with very limited English and sometimes very limited education. If you consider 86% of all the decisions our Latino families make are made by women, what we believe is that women can only make good and responsible decisions if they have the right information and they know the right partners. So we started with a Facebook community and a newsletter that has over 2,200 local women engaged in Spanish every day, sharing motivational messages, sharing tips on, financial literacy, on nutrition, on, what to ask your doctor, on how to start your own business, what you need to do to send your kids to school. It's a very basic platform that can be accessed anywhere, via cell phone, which is the way, at least in Georgia, our community gets their information. And we also create specific events. So those platforms of connection that we talk about are digital, but then they are also, really real in the community. So we create a Bazar Latino, a marketplace, so that the micro entrepreneurs, the lady that sells empanadas for a living, the lady that makes jewelry, the lady that, knits and does crochet, can feature the products and offer them and network and see who else is doing what. And also sell, and our site is something that, it's a marketplace that we're all very familiar with. So it's very culturally competent, very much fun, and very successful for everybody. So, those are some of the platforms. We have Expo Mujer, which is the first resource fair ever dedicated to Latinos in Georgia. But it's free, childcare is complimentary, sponsored by the YMCA, and families can come and under one roof one day can shop for partners on whatever it is they want to accomplish. Whereas escape an abusive relationship, get a high school diploma, get a business-to-business contract, start your own business, or, understand, for example, bankruptcy and how credit cards work. So all day under one roof, they can get information. So those are two examples of the grassroots, community events that we do.
So not only do you build up, a hub where they can actually you can provide information, civic and I guess community information, but you also help build business communities also by doing for individual people, small businesses, so that they can then start a marketplace. Basically, that's primarily what you guys do. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. So what we do is we connect. We connect nonprofits, we connect businesses, we connect the community. That is our platform. And we have specific programs and initiatives for the different segments. So when we talk about collaboration, for example, we have the Latino Forum, which is a roundtable for Latino service providers in Georgia. But again, this is, all first. This has never existed. There were some attempts, but this is a collaborative effort so that people know each other and discuss how to better serve the community and organize efforts to better address Latino issues. The marketplaces are dedicated efforts so that Latinas can promote their businesses. We also have Expo Mujer so that people, go and know where to go for help. So, the impact that we have, it's everything from, we are around almost a year old only, but we have already had, our goal for the end of the year is to help 100 Latino micro-entrepreneurs in Georgia to learn about themselves, to support each other, and to participate in the marketplaces. They have at least 40 nonprofits come together, discuss collaboration opportunities, and just get to know each other. Have 5,000 people attend and identify who's going to help them accomplish what's best for their families through our events. And of course, to grow our Latino community. So what we say we are about is about connection, we are all about engagement, and we're all about trust. And that affects not only Latinas, but also businesses that lack that face-to-face interaction in Georgia, to do data collection to understand what our community really needs, what products and services are relevant, but also nonprofits and their outreach needs and their needs assessments of our community. So it's a triangle, if you wish.
So, okay. So did you start out by, and I'm just trying to learn this as because you're talking about service providers. So did you approach them and say, are you trying to reach a Latino community? How is your vehicle that you're trying to reach? And is that how you started? Was reaching out to the service providers and saying, what is your need, and maybe we can help you fill it? Is that sort of what you did?
So it started, it's a two-pronged approach. My business partner, her name is Judith Martinez. She's an Emmy Award-winning journalist. Her presence as a, TV personality and the director of news, she already knew from her experience all about what was needed in that community. She reported daily on the needs. My background from the nonprofit arena and the planning arena, basically got the same information. When I work with nonprofits and, fundraising and development and communications, clearly, there was incredible need to just provide outreach to a community that, was not able to come to the outreach centers, to the organizations. And the organizations have very little funds and resources to actually go and reach the community. So, between those sources of information, we came up with this idea that basically bridges that gap of face-to-face interaction and outreach. And so if you wish, we become these agencies the nonprofits can use us to reach the community and convey the message across.
And
And the same for businesses.
and is your platforms aimed at English speaking, or is it bilingual? How do you have it set up?
It's fully bilingual, and depending on the segments that we have that we are working with, it can be mostly Spanish speaking or mostly English speaking. We had National Girlfriend Networking Day, which is a national event for professionals. And in Georgia, we were the host for the first time again of a National Girlfriend Networking Day. And so for the first time, Latinas actually led the state, and we brought over 40 very successful professional Latinas. So that event was in English because it was, in connection with a very successful panel in New York and in Washington. And so that event, for example, was dedicated in English. Our resource fair, because it's aimed to everybody, it targets everybody in the community, it's in Spanish, because in our state, we know that 86% of all Hispanic families prefer to speak in Spanish and feel comfortable in Spanish. So all the panels, all the educational workshops, those are in Spanish, because we're trying to bridge barriers to access information. So, but if you look at our website, our emails and newsletter is fully bilingual. We have everything in Spanish and in English.
And when you started reaching out to the community, the non-Spanish community, were they really receptive? Because I'm sort of seeing this throughout the country, that there's a lot of information that social services and other stuff are wanting to provide. They just don't have the vehicles sometimes to reach them, the Hispanic community. Do you see that as do you see that also? I mean, I guess you must have seen that in Georgia in order to start this, but do you have a feeling that that's what happens a lot of times?
Oh, absolutely. And, I am an optimist at heart. So I don't see it as a problem. I see it as an opportunity. But, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because when we reach, English-speaking American businesses, corporations, we encounter this assumption that, which is something that we're fighting, very much, which is that, Latinos are, the poor and, the ones that don't know anything and they need education and that are at lost, and they just don't know that there is a thriving, very creative, entrepreneurial, family-oriented and joyful community that is not, does not, comply with that representation that people have. So we have to do a lot of advocate work. We have to do a lot of work to make sure, we build a representation that's reflective of our community. And it comes as a surprise. We were talking to a corporation for a sponsorship for one of our events, and they were saying, well, why would a professional woman, just go to an event and learn about, finance? And I said, listen, I have a master's degree in planning, and I only got my credit card 4 years ago. I've been 12 years in this country, because in my country, I never used a credit card. They were not available. I come from Peru in the 90s. There was terrorism. Credit cards were not available. Nobody accepted them. Nobody had one. So I was scared. I didn't want to have debts. And, I'm a professional woman. I'm bilingual. I've run several businesses, successfully. And you have me. And people are just dumbfounded, by the, by learning that. And, right after that meeting, I went and I met with another, corporate executive, this time a Hispanic woman from the Dominican Republic. And when I was explaining exactly the same thing, she said, oh, my God, this is so much needed. I had no idea. I had to do so much to get my daughter in school, and, there were all these expectations that I'm, supposed to be involved in everything. I'm, a first generation immigrant. So, you have the very successful, very smart community that still needs, some information on navigating things that are just different from, how they are in Latin America in general.
So yeah, the cultural differences and are huge. And so wow, that was, what, I never even thought about that, because you're right. A lot of countries haven't caught up with the stuff that's in the U.S., so I can see that would be a barrier. I guess that's because, and I read all the time about financial institutions trying to reach out to Latinos and not sometimes being successful and sometimes not being so successful because we tend to deal with cash a lot. So I'm glad that you're working with people on helping them, get information about credit cards and banking and stuff like that. So tell me, what I mean. I know that you had your friend who got together with you, but has this been a passion of yours for a long time to help the community?
Absolutely. It is, I firmly believe, and actually, research proves this, the only way to build, a strong and healthy community and the best investment you can make is in women. We are decision makers for our family. And as a woman myself, I have two daughters. I mean, this is incredibly important work, and it's very relevant. And this is how I was brought up. My mother was, very conscious, socially, environmentally. So it's part of who I am. It's part of, how I think we should all be. So, and I also believe in leading by example. So it is definitely a passion of me, and I've always been involved in these type of projects. And I'm, very grateful to have the opportunity to do it in the U.S. After all, it is the country of opportunities, and it's true.
Gigi, you're the opposite of me. You have that whole Latina, let's get them started and get them involved and stuff. And I'm trying to get the Latinos to wake up. Por favor, Latinos, wake up, because the Latinas are kicking our butts on the internet and social media and stuff. They are opening up and helping our community and helping the Latinos in this community. I hope that the Latinos get involved more and open up and get, on the internet and start helping other Latinos too, because we all help each other, no matter what.
Well, absolutely, and this is why we are a great team, and it is true. And again, when we go and speak about what we do, oftentimes we get comments from men, and again, educated men sometimes that say, "How are you going to get the husbands to let women attend your events?"
Mm-hmm. I see.
So,
I see definitely tons of opportunity for Latinos who really want to get involved in their communities, because the opportunity is huge out there. And you and I have spoken about this before, where we need to, even the people who are now active and getting involved in things, need to work together, because the pie is so huge. There's so many of us here, and there's so many of us that need help, that we can, by reaching out to each other, we help each other, and we help grow, everything that we're trying to do, not only for our community but everybody else. So, do you guys have any projects or anything that you're working on that you might want to share with us that you're very excited about?
yes, so there are two, really big things we are working on right now. One is there is this big walk in Georgia that takes place every year, and we're talking, thousands of people, and it's led by the Center for Pan-Asian Community Services. It's called the T-Walk. And this year, YesIam, our social venture, we are, warming up everybody to walk, and we are putting together a big team to walk and say, "Count me in" as Latinos. The team, Latinos actually, with, how do you say arroba, with an at, right? So the thing is that the theme for the walk is empowering together, or together all of us together, something like that. And so we're saying for the first time we want to bring a team together, because the purpose of the walk is to raise awareness of immigrants in general and who we are, and that we are here and we're good people. So putting a Latino team together to walk and to say, "Count us in, we are here." So that's a big thing, and it's completely free, and you can find more information on our Facebook page, Yo Soy Mujer. And then the other thing is Expo Mujer, which is this resource fair that we are already 85% sold out, and it's going to be November 14th. So,
What was
very
that?
successful.
What was
November 14th, Expo Mujer.
Expo Mujer, okay.
Expo Mujer. The website is expomujerga.com, Expo Mujer Georgia, ga.com. And you can find information, again, completely free, and it's, family friendly. Childcare will be available. We're going to have panels of experts to address, education issues, education gap, health issues, immigration and legal issues, and also a panel, Know Your Rights, which is very much needed. And we're also going to have a powerful women panel led by the largest, Spanish newspaper here. And again, this is free and it's for everybody. And it's our first time event happening in Georgia. And so we're very excited about that.
You guys are busy. Every time I talk to you, Gigi, you're always doing something for the community, and you're having some kind of project that I go, how do they pull off so many things? I mean, you must not even sleep. I mean, you guys are doing stuff all the time, and I am so.
We work a lot.
Yeah, you do. I'm really glad that there's such desire and drive in people like yourself to go out and help the community. What would you tell someone who is interested in getting involved in their community, and how should they get started? Can you give some pointers of some people of how that would work out, or how you would recommend for them to get started?
I think the easiest way is to go, like us on Facebook, like our community. Again, it's Yo Soy Mujer, and our icon is an M, a pink M. And, again, if you do that, you're going to, receive everyday information on employment opportunities, on collaboration opportunities, on events, not only our events, but all of our, partners, all of our nonprofit events that are doing great work in the community. And that's the best way to stay in touch. You can also visit our website, yosoym, YOSOYM.com, yosoym.com, and expomujer, GA.com.
So are you? So you're saying you're basically open to talking to people from other communities, and maybe either expanding Yo Soy to other communities and being able to help them, or at least get them started and help them, get building their own platforms. Is that what you're saying to me? You're open for that type of collaboration?
Absolutely, we are. In fact, one of our partners, it's a woman from has worked with the African American community for many years, and we're working to develop an app completely free, so that anybody can know about the rights and signs of domestic violence, identifying abuse, which is very needed in all communities, but in our community too. And so this is a cross-cultural collaboration, if you wish, and we're trying to engage some people from the Pan-Asian community too to chime in, so that the app will be available in several Asian languages, Spanish, and of course in English. So that's one example how we do it.
That's great. That's great. Gigi, I know that you're a busy woman, and I don't want to keep you very much longer, but I really want to thank you for coming and joining us today and speaking about your organization. Once again, would you just plug yourself one more time and tell people how they can reach you and the best way to reach you? And I know, gente, I'm telling you, this woman had no idea who I was when I first called her, pero abrió las puertas, and she has introduced me to people. She's been nothing but giving from the corazón. So I know that if you want to do something for your community, just reach out to Gigi, because she will help you in one way or another, either get started or get involved with her organization. And we all know we all need help in our communities in small amounts or large amounts. So Gigi, give them your information. They can get a hold of you.
Thank you. Once again, my name is Gilda Pedraza. I'm a social entrepreneur and community advocate. Find us on Facebook. Follow us at Yo Soy Mujer. Our website, it's yosoym.com, or you can always find me online, gigipedraza.com.
Awesome. So you guys, I am going to put this all on the podcast so that you guys can find it, but don't forget, it's Yo Soy M como mujer. And Gigi, I always ask my guests one question before we leave, and that's, we're all here to inspire and hopefully educate the community in one way or another. If you had a room full of either kids or Latinas sitting in front of you, can you give us a word of advice before we say goodbye today?
I'll just say three things, which is, what I live by. Work hard. If you fall, get up. And when you reach up there, always extend a hand for the people that are coming behind you.
Oh my God.
That's all.
So beautiful words of advice. Oh my God. I hope you guys got that. Work hard and then never forget where you came from and always look back and help the people behind you because that's fabulous advice. Gigi, once again, I can't say thank you enough for making time for me today. You are part of our 30 for 30 Hispanic Heritage Month podcast series. It's the very first one we've done, and I think I will hold you in my heart forever for helping us do this for the first time. Latinos, Latinas out there, I hope that you're paying attention to what we're putting out here, and stay tuned for tomorrow because we're going to have another Latino or Latina that we're going to introduce you to. These guys have decided to not only create something for themselves but something for the community, and they're all reaching out to help in one way or another. So if you have any questions, you have any need for help from your in your community, please reach out to them. Gigi's always there. I know that they're willing to help you. So muchísimas gracias for listening in today, and stay tuned for mañana porque we're going to bring you one more Latino or Latina. Gigi, gracias, and
Gracias a ti.
have a good day, Gigi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.